Welcome to the Strenuous Life Radio, the podcast for leaderpreneurs, entrepreneurs, men and women. Learn the essentials and human skills of the strenuous life. And now, here's your host, JR Hendrick. Hello, everybody. Top of the day for you. Jimmy sometimes likes to pop on every now and then, but I don't think it's going to be for a while, because he's going through his struggles right now, and besides, this show was meant to be mine anyway. So let's talk about it. Marriage. What to do, what not to do. Now, here's something. I don't think I'm qualified. This is not therapy by radio. When it comes to marriage, I don't feel like I'm qualified to counsel anybody on marriage. This is just from experience, if you know what I mean. So if you're willing to sit down and listen to me, and let's have a conversation over a beverage, then you got it. Let's start with what not to do. Don't, at any point, from the beginning of the marriage, don't come across as cruel, crude, and crass. Let me tell you something. Sometimes we men have that problem. I can't speak from ladies. I'm speaking kind of from a man's point of view, if you know what I mean. We men sometimes have that problem. And it can become problematic if we're not careful. We start treating our wives like crap. What are they going to do? For long, they're just going to walk away. You start talking crap to your spouse. That's one surefire way to lose them. And in some cases, once they're gone, they're gone. You can't get them back. You give anything to take it back, but you can't. Number 2, don't have long, unexplained absences from your spouse. Now, this includes any kind of infidelity, even emotional infidelity. Let me tell you something. A spouse can sense emotional infidelity like radar. It's like a cop if you're speeding. They shoot their radar gun right straight at you. Now I'm blind. I can't drive. I just hear people talking about it. That being said, these wives that you marry, you come to know and come invest time in, these spouses, husband or wife, they sense if you're having even an emotional affair. But especially if it's a sexual love affair. Be wary of that, okay? Because that's sure one fine way to drive your marriage into the divorce court. Number 3, don't take your spouse for granted. I hear some of y'all right now. You've been listening to me for quite a bit. Yeah, we've been through history. We've been through some wisdom through Jim Rohn. Yesterday, you was talking about the necessity to read for your business. And now you're going to give us stuff about marriage, what to do, what not to do. Because in some ways, as goes your marriage, so goes your life. You got a spouse, husband, or wife. You need to love them and cherish them. Now, I'm going to give some tips, maybe 5 tips to talk about marriage. I don't want to keep this too long because I'm not the world's best expert on marriage. In fact, like Jimmy, I can't stand the word expert anyway. Anyway, the first one, absolutely, to the most of your ability, be kind to your spouse. There is one issue, I think, that breaks up marriages. And that's not being able to discuss even a disagreement kindly or calmly. If you're trying to have the last word, you ain't being kind to your spouse. You're being disruptive and crude and cruel. If you're having a disagreement and tempers are flaring, sometimes the best thing to do is just take a 5 to 20 minute timeout until you can talk about it calmly. And not everybody, I know not all spouses, they want to talk it out here and now. And that's fine if you can do it calmly. But when spouses quarrel and tempers flare, unkind words get said. Let me tell you something. That's a fast way to be in the divorce court. Number 2, a married couple should read their Bible together. Talk about what's on their mind. What the Bible verse means to them. How important that is. Because often that Bible verse is what's going to help you when you're struggling. You guys talking about your faith, that's important. That way, if there's any difficulties, if there's any problems in the marriage, it can be ironed out. You interject your faith. I mean, that's just common sense. Okay? If you don't have a marriage that's grounded in much faith, I don't see how it can work. I'm just being honest with you. We as a society, because I think we forget the Lord, that we're miserable without the Lord. That's just being honest. Alright? Now, you heard me speak my piece about that. Number 3, communication. I think any married couple needs to have good communication skills. Leave the lines open for positive communication. And if there's a disagreement, handle it in a calm, concise way. If you don't handle it in a calm, concise way, there's no way you can succeed. Number 4, devote your marriage to prayer. The family that prays together stays together. That's just common sense. Alright? I want you to know that. Having the family that prays together, that stays together, that helps in a lot of ways. That way you know that if God is involved in your marriage, you can't lose. You can't lose. Maybe one of the best ways to handle disagreement sometimes is just get into prayer. Ask the Lord to help you solve your disagreement. Because if not, we're messed up. Because a family that prays together stays together. I'm going to interject my faith anywhere I am, because my faith is a part. My faith is a part of everything I do. And those of you that you're not interjecting your faith into everything you do, then what are you? What is your faith? Where is your faith? You've got to have something to believe beyond just yourself. And I know it can be easy sometimes to compartmentalize that faith if you're having problems believing. But then you're going to have to learn how to, for marriage, I think you got to learn how to properly integrate your faith and assimilate it into everything that you can do. And that's why, as a married couple, you need prayer. Okay? That's just all it's doing. You need prayer. And you know something? I hear you. I hear you. Listen to me. I'm grateful to be a part of your listening experience. And I'm hoping that I can help you guys. But any marriage that does not bathe itself in prayer, how long do you expect that marriage to last? Think about it. You don't want a marriage that's unequally yoked. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14 says, "Be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what fellowship have light with darkness?" For what communion have wickedness and righteousness? And what fellowship have light with darkness? Once again, we got to be careful who we associate with, because it can turn into a bad thing. It can turn into a bad thing quick. So listen to me. You're every bit worth it. Because God loves you. And I love you. And whatever it is, you can overcome it. Alright? Trust in the Lord. He's got you. He's got you on this one. Being in prayer as a married couple, that's key. Start your day in prayer. End your day in prayer. I tell you, man, those two things are gonna save a marriage. That's it right there. That's it right there, because you're worth it. God bless you. You are worth it. Because having a marriage is key. Now, I'm not saying that if you're single, you absolutely have to be married. It's not always the case. Although it could help, you know. But I will say this. I trust in God. And He understands me more than anybody. Now, here's something else you're going to have to understand. Number 5, and I want you to think about this deep and hard. Number 5 in the marriage is the 5th thing that you absolutely must do, is to encourage your spouse. Encourage them in their dreams. Find out what their dreams are. Help them. Be with them. Support them. That's just the best thing you can do. Because that's what matters. A marriage must be a supportive environment between husband and wife. That's just how it is. And it can be difficult, I know. Listen to me, I know it can be difficult. And you're wondering, how the heck do you want to make it? But you can't make it without the Lord. You can't make it without encouraging one another. Okay, that's just to not encourage one another as a couple on a regular basis. That's just dumb. And not just a little bit dumb. I'm talking doubly dumb. And once again, this is not therapy by psychotherapy by radio. I don't consider myself to be an expert on the subject of marriage. But I know what I've observed. And what I observed is this. A lot of marriages break up because they can't be kind to each other. Because constantly having to walk on eggshells. No encouragement, no support, no prayer, no healthy lines of communication. That is what should make a good marriage, regardless. And you guys know it. Alright? Now, I hope that this helps you beyond anything you know. Now, I hope you enjoy listening to Strenuous Life Radio. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the Strenuous Life Radio family. Until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others want. And do what others want so you can step up, step out, and step in to have what others can't. Like my daddy always said, think strong, and live the strenuous life. God bless you. Y'all take care now, you hear? Take care now. JR loves you. I really love you.